Hey guys, what's up? It's DPX here. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, DPX Talks, for about an hour. It is March 12th, 2020 right now. Um, I wasn't really intending on making this episode, especially since I don't like to talk about real world events on YouTube and on this podcast. But I'm not going to call it by what it's actually called because though I don't get monetized by YouTube because I'm, not there yet. I just to be safe, I don't want to call it because YouTube is demonetizing any video talking about it, um, or at least calling it by name. Which again, I'm not even monetized already, so I don't want to. But I don't want to. I just want to be safe, so I'm gonna refer to it as the CV. You guys know what that is. I didn't want to talk about this because it's a real world event, and this is where we come to talk about fun stuff and, like video games, movies, TV, uh, occasionally YouTube drama, occasionally wrestling, occasionally, if it calls for it, sports, stuff like that. But this has, you know, the CV has started to bleed into those things, and I was gonna save discussion about the CV and its effect on all the stuff I just named for the next episode of the podcast, where I actually talk about other stuff as well. But it's starting, like today, I found out about so many more things it's affecting. So, like, this can get its own episode. I do want to make another, normal episode of the podcast later this month. This will not be this month's edition of the podcast, despite it, being in March. Um, there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, um, like The Last of Us getting an HBO show, stuff like that. I even made a Discord poll already, but that's still gonna go on. Link in the description if you want to join the Discord server. There's a channel for the podcast topics, but yeah, this is my heart's beating because I've never talked about anything like this, not only on the podcast but on YouTube as well. Like I've never done this before. The CV is starting to affect movies, games, television, sports, like wrestling or basketball, like NBA, and even like conventions. E3's been canceled. The GDC or Game Developers Conference has been canceled. CinemaCon has been canceled. So a lot of stuff is going on right now with this CV, and it is. I look. This is what I said at first. It's not a huge catastrophe, and I still stand by that, and here's why. We see all this stuff going on, but it is. I'm not the most informed on this stuff, so I'm going to sound really stupid probably throughout this whole episode, but you can spread it, and you don't want to take risks. Like, let's just say the conference, fucking, the conventions, those are with, those have like thousands of people. They don't want to run risks of, the CV spreading around more so than it has. You know, and stuff like WrestleMania, which has been a huge topic when talking about how the CV is affecting stuff. That's the. I'll get more into that later, but that's like a big event, the biggest WWE's biggest event of the year. As there are rumors of it getting canceled or possibly delayed because it has like there's supposed to be like thousands of people all over the world attending that event. But with this CV, that can be very dangerous. And yeah, there's a lot of movies that have been delayed. As far as I know, there haven't been like any games that have been delayed, but movies have been delayed. Um, Events that have been canceled. Entire NBA season has been canceled. Tom Hanks got it recently. In fact, I woke up this morning and I read Tom Hanks is infected. Oh, jeez. And then I hear what's his name? Donovan. Sorry, what's his name? Donovan Mitchell, the NBA player. He got it, and now the entire NBA season is canceled or at least put on hold. Which, like, jeez, canceling an entire season. And I don't like talking about my personal life, but school. Well, a lot of schools have been like, taking time off. My brother called me up recently, told me that his college is, you know, it, he was gonna come home like this Friday, but like he's coming home this Friday and possibly staying for the rest of the year. That is crazy. Okay, never to talk about school again. But yeah, this is uh look, I feel this is getting blown a little bit out of proportion because this is no worse than the flu. The problem here though is that like they haven't figured out a cure for this. And it's not like I believe it's like younger people can't die from this. I'm not the I'm not a smart person at all. I'm very sorry. um but yeah, I want to talk about a few things though. I want to talk about E3. E3 is canceled due to the CV. Um, so I'm reading on GameSpot.com. E3 2020 is canceled due to CV concerns. E3 2020 has officially been canceled and will not take place this June as previously scheduled. The ESA, which is responsible for putting on the annual convention, shared the news today following several reports, including GameSpot's, that such an announcement was imminent. In its place, companies like Xbox and Ubisoft are already making plans to hold digital events, although details and dates are still sparse. So E3, okay, look, it's kind of canceled. Like if you're an industry member, like this is probably horrible news for you. Um, Us fans though, I mean, we're watching. The other companies are going to be doing what Nintendo has been doing, uh, like live streaming events, like basically making a Nintendo Direct of their own. We know Microsoft is going to be doing that. Ubisoft are going to be doing that. Nintendo, I'm sure, was already going to be doing that. Sony's not going to be there. They weren't going to be there regardless. Um, I'm still not sure about Ubisoft or Bethesda. I don't know if Google's doing another one. I don't even know if Stadia is going to even still exist by this time. But EA, EA Play was like, they say that's not a part of E3, but they play it. They have it go on like right before E3, so like why? But I don't know. They sorry. I've had this cough before the coronavirus outbreak. Okay, shut up. Um, so yeah. So after I'm reading this quote here. After careful bleh, after cancel I can't read today. Jesus Christ. After careful consulate consultation, after careful consultation with our member companies regarding the health and safety of everyone in our industry, our fans, our employees, our exhibitors, and our longtime E3 partners, we have made the difficult decision to cancel E3 2020. Scheduled for June 9th to 11th in Los Angeles, the ESA said in a statement. That was from the ESA. Continuing, following increased in overwhelming concerns about the CV virus, they said COVID-19, but I'm 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 just gonna say CV, even if it says COVID. We felt that uh, we felt this was the best way to proceed during such an unpres. I can't read today. Unprecedented global situation. We are very disappointed that we are unable to hold this event for our fans and supporters, but we know it's the right decision based on the information we have today. The ESA went on to say it would be in touch with both exhibitors and attendees regarding full refunds, says in quotes. Additionally, it says it is exploring options with our members to coordinate an online experience to showcase industry announcements and news in June 2020. No further details have been shared on that front as of yet, but it did also confirm that plans for E3 2021 will move ahead as a reimagined event that brings fans, media, and the industry together in a showcase that celebrates the global video game industry. Xbox, Ubisoft, and Limited Run Games have confirmed plans to either explore or host their own digital events. Okay, Limited Run as well. Limited Run will still host a press conference on June 8th, as previously scheduled, while Nintendo has responded but not confirmed any specific plans. We will be rounding up companies' reactions to E3's cancellation and what they intend to do as more information is shared. So there you go. It sucks, but but then again, I mean, I'm gonna get the same experience as I usually do. You're probably gonna get the same experience as you usually do. But it really does suck that E3 isn't going forward this year. Um, and after all this shit about E3, how it's dying, um, all the reasons it's so called dying, it gets canceled this year for a completely different reason, and that's interesting. But Phil Spencer tweeted, "E3 has always been an important moment for Team Xbox. Given this decision, this year will celebrate the next generation of gaming with the at Xbox community, and all who love to play via an Xbox digital event. Details on timing and more in the coming weeks." Is this the first time E3 has ever been canceled? I think it might have been. Um, my thoughts on this? Yeah, as I said, I'm gonna get the same experience as I usually would. Because at least concerning Nintendo, and concerning Microsoft, concerning Ubisoft, and probably concerning fucking Bethesda and Square. But the E3, this is like a big announcement. This shocked me personally, but it's probably the least negative. I don't know how to say it, but the way it's affecting other stuff, the effect is much worse on them. Like, the other stuff have it a lot worse. Yeah. So, man, I feel like I'm about to cry. I don't know why. Like, this isn't even like, I don't know. Why am I about to cry? I don't know. But there's also numerous movie delays. Obviously, for some time we've known about the delay for No Time to Die, the new James Bond movie. That has been delayed a while ago. And it was delayed from April. I forgot when in April, but it was April. All right, that's pretty fucking soon. Like, this game would have come out next month. Think about that. I just called it a game. This movie would have come out next month, but now it's not. It's coming out in November. I think the 25th. I'm not sure. Oscar season, but it like it took a huge jump. So I'm on New York Times right now. Uh, New James Bond movie, No Time to Die, delayed amid CV concerns. In one of Hollywood's first significant responses to the potential worldwide threat of the CV, the producers of the James Bond movie franchise said on Wednesday that the release of the latest film in that long-running spy series would be delayed until November. The movie, called No Time to Die, had previously been scheduled to open in April. In a statement, the film studios MGM and Universal and the Bond series producer Michael G. Wilson and Barbara Broccoli, I thought that was, but I think it's actually pronounced broccoli. Barbara Broccoli that said that after careful consideration and thorough evaluation of the global theatrical marketplace, the release of No Time to Die will be postponed until November 2020. Also, if it is broccoli, my apologies, but I'm pretty sure it's broccoli. The statement said that the film's British opening had been pushed to November 12th, and its release in the United States had been delayed until November 25th through its United Artists venture with, I can't read, but Annapurna Pictures. MGM is responsible for the American distribution of No Time to Die, and Universal the international distribution. No Time to Die, the 20th canonical entry in the James Bond franchise. Oh, wait, the 25th canonical? Oh, I actually didn't know that. Marks Daniel Craig's fifth and final appearance as the debonair. I can't read. I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Secret agent, and the film's release had been highly anticipated. It is the first Bond film since Spectre, which grossed more than 888 880 million worldwide when it was released in 2015, and the budget for No Time to Die has been reported at 250 million. Promotion for the planned release of No Time to Die was already well underway, while the title song, performed by the pop star Billie Eilish, released in February, and Craig slated to host Saturday. Yeah, oh, okay. I just started reading stuff that weren't really related to its delay, but yeah, this was a movie that was gonna come out like in a month. I don't in a month. Well, when was it gonna come out exactly? Let me go see this. I don't want to Google it on here, but No Time to Die original release date. Okay, yeah, just don't. I don't want to go searching, but April. It was gonna come out in April, which is in a month. So, I mean, this was okay. This was delayed. I am kind of reporting on this late. This was announced like a week or two ago. I don't remember. So it wasn't gonna come out in like exactly a month, but it was still like close to coming out. Like this was delayed like almost like a good few weeks before, or like a good month or two before it was gonna come out, which is pretty crazy. But some news dropped today for two more cancellations, or not cancellations, postponements rather. A Quiet Place 2, which was gonna come out next week, so that's even like crazier. A Quiet Place 2 global release delayed to avoid um, CV crisis update. Um, Paramount has confirmed our earlier scoop that the studio is delaying A Quiet Place 2 due to the due to the CV. Here's the official statement. After much consideration and in light of the ongoing and developing situation concerning coronavirus and restrictions on global travel and public gatherings, Paramount Pictures will be moving to worldwide release. We'll be moving the worldwide release of A Quiet Place Part 2. We believe in and support the theatrical experience, and we look forward to bringing this film to audiences this year once we have a better understanding of the impact of this pandemic and the global theatrical marketplace. And then the director and star, John Krasinski, tweeted this. If I or posted this on Insta, I read a tweet, but the his Instagram post might be the exact same thing. I think I read a tweet. It might have been the Instagram, but I don't know. But to all our A Quiet Place fans, one of the things I'm most proud of is that people have said our movie is one you have to see all together. My computer has just froze. Okay, now it hasn't. Sorry, all this shit's popping up. Okay. I'll reread that. To all our Quiet Place fans, one of the things I'm most proud of is that people have said our movie is one you have to see all together. Well, due to the ever changing circumstances of what's going on in the world around us, now is clearly not the right time to do that. As insanely excited as we are for all of you to see this movie, I'm not I'm gonna wait to release the film till we can all see it together. So here's to our group movie date. See you soon. It says hashtag A Quiet Place Part 2, dot dot dot, take two. And then puts JK, but that's not just kidding. I originally thought it was J.K. as in just kidding. But that's John Krasinski. So this is, I was actually this movie actually looked really good, but I haven't seen the first one, so I was planning on trying to see the first one in some way. I think it's on Amazon Prime. I don't know. I now knowing this, I have a little bit more time, but this does suck because um yeah, it was gonna come out almost a week from today. Like today's the 12th, tomorrow's the 13th. The 13th is Friday, and it was gonna come out a week from that day, the 13th. Which, jeez, I can't imagine that you're this close to releasing something and then you delay it because of this. See, I get why film studios and directors and everyone are doing this. They want, like how John Krasinski said this. He says, like, we want everyone to see this all together and enjoy it. But with this CV, that can't really happen, I guess, because people are getting infected. I'll get into my thoughts altogether on this. How long have I been going? I don't even know. We got some time. This is unfortunate, and there's apparently I didn't even know this until reading this article earlier. Apparently, also Peter Rabbit has been delayed. Which I don't care too much about Peter Rabbit, but you know, I I actually don't know anyone who liked the first one, but well, whatever. But yeah, it's unfortunate that these movies are getting delayed. And another movie that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I know a lot of people are, is the Fast and Furious movies, and Fast and Furious 9 has also been fucking delayed. Like a year, in fact. Fast and Furious 9 release pushed back a year due to CV. Um, like an entire year. I think the original release date for Fast and Furious 10, I think I heard, was 2021, but now that's going to be pushed back because this is coming out in 2021 now, which Universal Studios, the company behind the Fast and Furious franchise, made the decision because of the impact that the fast moving CV is having on the global economy and the distribution landscape. Theaters remain closed in Italy, South Korea, and China, where the virus has hit the hardest. There's also a mounting sense that some theaters will close in the US as the outbreak continues to spread. Fast 9 will now open globally in April 2021 and in the US on April 2nd. So we got that's like an actual release date. Vin Diesel made the announcement on social media. We feel all the love and the anticipation you have for the next chapter in our saga, he wrote. That's why it's especially tough to let you know that we have to move the release date of the film. It's become clear and that it won't be possible for all of our fans around the world to see the film this May. This May. While we know there is a disappointment in having to wait a little while longer, this move is made with the safety of everyone as our foremost consideration, Diesel added. So, yeah, um all the film studios and everything, the directors, they're all aware and are taking into consideration the health and safety of the fans. So yeah, apparently this has also brought up another thing. What about movie theaters? Are those gonna shut down? Uh, I was listening to John Campia earlier, a really cool guy. Well, I haven't met him, but really really nice podcast he has. He said stuff like you go into a movie theater, you touch the same straws as another guy has, uh, you know, do all that stuff. Yeah, that could be a problem. But with the movie theaters, I'm gonna if a movie comes out, and unless the theaters are closed, if a movie comes out that I'm interested in, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna keep going to the movies. All right. Now, in other news, CinemaCon has been delayed, or no, it's been straight up canceled over the CV concerns. Um, and yeah, it's another convention that's been delayed. Fuck, it's been canceled, not delayed. Um, it is with great regret we are announcing the cancellation of CinemaCon 2020, said a statement from NATO's John Fithian and Mitch Newhauser. I fuck. Each spring, motion picture exhibitors, distributors, and industry partners from around the world meet in Las Vegas to share information and celebrate the movie-going experience. This year, due to the travel ban from the European Union, the unique travel difficulties in many other areas of the world and other challenges presented by the corona the fuck no don't say that presented by the CV pandemic, a significant portion of the worldwide motion picture community is not able to attend CinemaCon. While local outbreaks vary widely in severity, the global circumstances make it impossible for us to mount the show that our attendees have come to expect. After consultation with our attendees, trade show exhibitors, sponsors, and studio presenters, NATO has decided, therefore, to cancel CinemaCon 2020. We look forward to continuing the 10-year tradition of representing the largest movie theater convention in the world and joining our attendees in future celebrations of the movie-going experience. Um, there's a typo on here. It says read this. It's supposed to say read the statement, but it says read the statement. STAEMENT. Read the statement. I just read the statement. But yeah. That was another thing I want to. There's another thing that is worth of note. I don't like getting political or anything, and I mean I'm not really getting political, but I am gonna mention Trump. He made a travel ban from Europe and other places. So I don't have that tab open, but Donald Trump travel ban. Um, yeah, I'm going on New York Times. This is live updates. So, CV live updates. Trump says some domestic travel could be uh, curtailed or curtailed. I've never seen this word in my life. And Senate cancels recess. Here's what you need to know. These are a bunch of bullet points. Trump says domestic travel restrictions are a possibility. Wait, it didn't. Isn't that already whatever? Days after being with Trump and Pence, Brazilian official tests positive for the virus. The Senate canceled a week-long recess in hopes of reaching a virus relief compromise. Europe condemns the U.S. travel ban as more nations add restrictions. Stocks sink despite the federal's offer of 1.5 trillion to the banks. A top U.S. health official says CV testing is a failing quotes, failing, the New York will ban most gatherings of more than 500 people, including at Broadway shows. This is tough. Um, he made a travel ban, right? Trying to um, and I get why he did this because to stop further spreading. Um, Here I'm on a Politico. Man, this is I never want to get this political in any video ever again, but there are now 460 confirmed cases in the UK. Okay. So there's uh, a ban, travel ban, going on. There's another one. There's another topic we gotta talk about. Um, there's GDC and Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a big one, so we'll save that for towards the last. Um, San Francisco game developers conference canceled over CV fears. The annual Game Developers Conference, a professional gathering to close to close to 30,000 interactive industry professionals, was abruptly canceled Friday afternoon. I believe like last. No, this was a few weeks ago. I'm late on this one too. Just 2 weeks before the 2020 edition was to launch, due to fears of a CV pandemic. Uh, here's here's a quote. Uh, After consultation with our partners in the game development industry and community around the world, we've made the difficult decision to postpone the Game Developers Conference this March. The statement. And continued, having spent the past year preparing for the show with our advisory board, speakers, exhibitors, and event partners, we're genuinely upset and disappointed to not be able to host you at this time. So, everything's getting canceled left and right or delayed. One thing that broke out earlier, one news story that popped up earlier, Tom Hanks. Actor. He was Woody in Toy Story. He's Mr. Rogers in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. All of his other performances escape me right now. I don't know why. He's a great actor though. I'm acting like you guys don't know him. I know you. It's Tom Hanks. Him, uh, and his wife. I forgot her name, but it'll definitely say somewhere in here. Tested positive for the CV. And now this is getting fucking real, because, yo, Tom Hanks, like, let me just read here. I think, Rita Wilson is his wife's name, but I think, um, so he apparently got it from I lost. He got it from Australia. I think it was either from an event or shooting for a movie. I'm not quite sure. But Tom Hanks had a cold, or so he thought. Slight fever, body aches, chills, the usual. In the United States, those symptoms may not be enough to get tested for the new CV. But he and his wife, Rita Wilson, who also felt sick, weren't at home. They were in Australia. Here, Testing is free and widely available, thanks to early and coordinated planning for a pandemic. On Thursday, Mr. Hanks said he and his wife had seen the efforts firsthand as they tested positive for the virus. Um, so I'm gonna read this tweet from Tom Hanks himself. I just realized this whole episode of the podcast is me reading stuff, and I'm sorry. That could probably be a very tedious thing to listen to. But I'm gonna give like all my thoughts later on. Hello, folks. Rita and I are down here in Australia. We felt a bit tired, like we had colds and some body aches. Rita had some chills that came and went, slight fevers too. To play things right, as is needed in the world right now, we were tested for the CV and were found to be positive. Well, now, what to do next? What to do next? Puts a question mark. Um, the medical office officials have protocols that must be followed. We Hankses will be tested, observed, and isolated for as long as public health and safety requires. Not much more to it than a one day at a time approach, no? We'll keep the world posted and updated. Take care of yourselves, Hanks. Um, so yeah, that's something. And now we got sports news. Um, we've got March Madness, the NBA season, WrestleMania. I'm gonna save WrestleMania for last because that one's probably I probably have the most to say about that one. Because it's the most interesting. It's not nothing official has happened to that one yet. But there's a lot more to WWE. So we'll just uh, coronavirus. That's the third time I let it slip. But CV Donovan Mitchell confirms positive test after Jazz teammate Rudy Gobert reportedly infected. Um, like keep in mind, I'm not the biggest fan of sports. The most I'd watch is wrestling. Even then, ironically, WrestleMania is like the one of the only times I watch unironically. So, a second NBA player has tested positive for the CV. Utah Jazz All-Star forward Donovan Mitchell confirmed that he has conflicted the deadly virus after his teammate. Rudy Gobert reportedly became the first player to test positive, according to the Athletics Shams Karania. I'm so sorry, guys. Gobert had been careless in the locker room in terms of touching other players and their belongings, despite warnings about the severity of the situation, per ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Okay, you cannot get mad at me for. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but you can't get mad at me for that. On Thursday afternoon, Mitchell took to Instagram to confirm the fact that he had tested positive for the CV, and to thank those that had reached out to him since the news broke. Here's his post. Thanks to everyone who has been reaching out since hearing the news about my positive test. We are all learning more about the seriousness of this situation, and hopefully people can continue to educate themselves and realize that they need to behave responsibly, both for their own health and for the well-being of those around them. I appreciate the authorities in Oklahoma who were helpful with the testing process, and everyone from the Utah Jazz, I don't know why I said it like that, who have been so supportive. I'm going to keep following the advice of our medical staff and hope that we can all come together and be there for each other and our neighbors who need help, who need our help. Um, but apparently this was enough to cancel the whole season. NBA season canceled. Um, CBS Sports. Let's go there. It's been so they canceled. Like the whole season's canceled, or at least put on hold. I don't know that much about basketball. I don't know how much of this stuff works. I don't even watch basketball, NBA, whatever. But this is canceling an entire season though is crazy. And March Madness is another thing I know like nothing about, but that's also that's still gonna go on, but not. It's still gonna go on, but I believe there's like no crowd. Uh, the NCAA Twitter account. Um, the President Mark bleh, President Mark Emmert statement on limiting attendance at NCAA events. The NCAA continues to assess the impact of CV in consultation with public health officials and our CV advisory panel. Based on their advice and my discussions with the NCAA Board of Governors, I have made the decision to conduct our upcoming championship events, including the Division One men's and women's basketball tournaments, with only essential staff and limited family attendance. While I understand how disappointing this is for all fans of our sports, my decision is based on the current understanding of how CV is progressing in the United States. This decision is in the best interest of public health, including that of coaches, administrators, fans, and most importantly, our student athletes. We have we recon bleh, we recognize the opportunity to compete in an NCAA national championship is an experience of a lifetime for the students and their families. Today, we will move forward and conduct championships consistent with the current information and will continue to monitor and make adjustments as needed. Okay. So, March Madness, look, I'm talking about stuff I don't really know much about. I'm really sorry about that. I will have a normal episode later on this month, but here we have March Madness. I know it's a big, you know, NCAA event. No crowd. There's no crowd. So, look, I want to I want to talk about WrestleMania or WWE as it's really more than just WrestleMania. I'm on Forbes right now. WWE WrestleMania 36 threatened by CV a timeline. But so basically, here's like usually every fucking year, WrestleMania is about to happen. There's always a rumor saying WrestleMania gets canceled. And it's like, fuck, shut up. It's not gonna get canceled. Like last year, it took place at MetLife Stadium, and that was when there's like a snowstorm hitting or some shit. It didn't get canceled though. But this time, we see a bunch of other shit get canceled. And yeah, this might actually get canceled. Or I'm not gonna say it is gonna get canceled, but it's more like not full of shit this time. Um, there is some like I'll read this right here. I am getting sick of reading all this, but in light of recommendations made on February 26th by the Japanese Ministry of Health connected to the new CV COVID-19, New Japan Pro Wrestling has arrived at the decision. We're not talking about WWE right now. We're talking about New Japan, which is a different wrestling promotion. Has arrived at the decision to cancel all live events scheduled between Sunday, March 1st and Sunday, March 15th. Which, March 15th is pretty soon. But, basically, New Japan Pro Wrestling, they've canceled, like, every event in that time frame because of this. And I think, no, this started in China. Like, the CV has started in China, but it 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 could, yeah, Japan could be infected as well. Um, as far as I'm concerned, AEW, the newest wrestling promotion, which is trying to rival WWE. WWE needs a rival, so you know they are moving forward with any plans they have right now. But then we have WWE. I've heard stuff that like this week's SmackDown will be held in at the Performance Center, which is not an arena at all. It's basically where new talent goes and trains, pretty much. Um, that's one way to look at it. SmackDown will be held in the Performance Center, but that it turns out that wasn't like an actual thing that was confirmed. As of right now, it is still going to be in Detroit as it was originally planned. There's also rumors that this could affect Raw and NXT though, and even WrestleMania, which like here's my thing. Here's the thing here about it affecting WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the biggest. It's WWE's biggest event of the year. Like out of every event they'd have to cancel or delay, WrestleMania seems like the worst possible one. I get that. But the safety of their fans is very important. So there's apparently they're going to be WWE is going to be in a they're going to have a meeting with the Tampa mayor and the Tampa officials and everything about what to do here. It's not going to get canceled. I will tell you that WrestleMania will not get canceled. Because they have all this shit set up. They can't they cannot cancel this. E3 is something you can cancel because there's at least um like you have an alternative. You have like you can still do all that stuff online. Uh, Stuff like CinemaCon. Um, that's not that WrestleMania is uncancelable, I feel, but it is delayable. Or what they could do is have just a uh, sorry, my phone just went off. But what they could do is have this giant arena and no fans. Obviously, fans have already paid to go, but this could be the right step in their safety. Mm, like they can't. I think the virus is supposed to be about like you can't have if it's more than like 200 people or something, somewhere around that. Uh, it's deadly. It can affect people. Recently on Raw, I watched the wrestlers. Well, I heard recently there's like a hands-off policy to ensure the safety of the wrestlers and the fans. But on Raw, no, I saw like wrestlers high fiving the fans. Saw like um, stuff like Natalia giving a fan her headband. Angel Garza kissing a fan. It's his thing. If you don't watch it, that probably sounds really weird. But anyways, like hopefully those are all like you know people from WWE. Maybe just like not really. You don't see them on camera. Maybe I don't know, but like it was a little. I didn't realize that till after the fact. After I actually found out about the hands-off policy afterwards. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So yeah, another. I've also heard this pop up. WrestleMania can take place in the Performance Center, which can you imagine that? Look, I feel like it won't be WrestleMania without the crowd. Um, and that might be the best option to go because um, it's either if it's down to WrestleMania without a crowd or no WrestleMania at all, I prefer it without a crowd. Um, it's always good to delay it, but they have such a WWE has such a schedule that I like it's delayable. Yes, it's not. This is an event that I feel is just uncancelable. They could delay it, but I also feel like that would create trouble. Which this whole pandemic is creating trouble. Yes, but it's they might delay it. Okay, look, I'm gonna start wrapping it up here. This is a bit of a shorter episode, but so this whole thing, I feel like after everything I've just read, I feel like it's getting blown out of proportion a little bit. But at the same time, it's nothing to like laugh at. It's nothing to scoff at. It is kind of a big deal considering how much is being affected by it. Um, but it's also like it's no worse than the flu, which I mean did the Tamiflu though that shit's disgusting. I remember I once had the flu and I had to take that Tamiflu. That was disgusting. I think it helped though, but I don't think there's anything like that for the CV. But look, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, shit's already been done to certain movies, CinemaCon, E3, GDC, the NBA, the March Madness. Tom Hanks is already infected. Let's hope him and his wife the best. Hope nothing too bad happens to WrestleMania and any of the WWE shows, as well as any of the wrestlers or fans that they come in contact with. Um, Hopefully, nothing else is too badly affected, because Well, I don't. It's not the end of the world. This virus isn't the end of the world. Like this, I'm telling you, in like a month, maybe 2 months, all this like the hysteria will sort of calm down, but it's still affecting certain things out of concerns, and rightfully so. I feel like, yeah, you should make moves before the damage is done, but at the same time, like, be a little bit more reactionary. I'm not sure how to explain that, but um, like schools are taking off as well. That is something like obviously you don't want a school filled with, because if one person in the school gets the virus, like that shit, like everyone's in danger. But it's honestly like it's not that likely for you to get it, and if you do, you're if unless you're like really old, you're not gonna die from it. I'm sorry, you're not. All right, it's not the end of the world. In a year, this won't even be like a huge deal. I'm just saying, be careful with who you interact with, or more so how you do so. Um, you know, take take care of each other, and don't fucking some shit in my eye. Um, you know, the whole handshaking thing. Maybe be a little careful with that. I've seen like fist bumps, or people wearing gloves, people like taking their shirts and like, hey, here you go. But oh yeah, just be. I'm trying to say here from someone who doesn't know shit and has been reading shit this entire hour. Just be careful, all right? That's all I got. Hopefully, I get a normal episode out this month. I'm considering having Ramkit on here. If not him, maybe Squid Wario. Not him, maybe someone else. If not anyone else, going solo again, which is always cool. But yeah, uh, that'll wrap it up for today. Thanks for listening. If you didn't like this one, I understand. I was just reading basically the whole time. I'm not the smartest person in the world when it comes to real world issues. When it comes to real world issues. And this isn't really a fun subject. This was one subject the entire episode as well. But I'll go back to fun stuff again. As for my channel, this isn't affecting my channels at all. Caillou and DPX is still premiering tomorrow on DPX Animations. I hope to see you there at 5 Eastern Standard Time. 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep making videos on my main channel, and I hope you go and see them and everything. So yeah. Bye, guys.